Welcome to another episode of Croc Talk TV. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker, and today we are jumping into some Amari Rodgers film. All right, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty with him, where he excels, where I feel like he can improve. If any of you guys have watched some of my past breakdowns, which I don't expect you guys to because they weren't on 49er players, 49er rookie cornerbacks, but I try to go in depth and I kind of talk about I try to bring a different perspective, how this receiver makes this defensive back feel or how the DB makes the receiver feel. Certain things are a little bit more difficult whether it's difficult to see or difficult to do and whatnot. And I'm excited. I went on Twitter yesterday and I asked everybody, who do you guys want to watch? Obviously got a wide variety of receivers that people are posting, but I had enough people kind of pitching in for Amari Rodgers. So I said, you know what? Let's get into some Amari Rodgers. Let's watch him. Get some of these Packer fans in here, some of these cheeseheads, and get to it, man. So I'm excited. Obviously, we'll let people kind of flow in here a little bit. I don't expect there to be as much as there have been in the last couple of days because obviously, I don't have a huge Packer following, but I am excited to watch it with, the few of you that will be in here. All right, so before we get started, do any of you guys have any questions or any topics or anything that y'all want to talk about? I know I was watching the FCS National Championship game. A kid I train, he's actually playing in the game, and they're having it's like a thunderstorm or something like that. So yeah, they're not even playing right now. So they stopped the game and everything, and we'll see if they end up kind of getting back to it. Ruthless Sports, what's up? Ryan Emmons, hey, yo, first time in here. Hey, I'm excited too, man. Excited to jump into this film, baby. Let's go. Yes. So now's the time, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in here, any questions y'all have, feel free, ask them. And I'm an open book, so if it's questions about, my playing time, kind of how it was like being on the NFL roster, playing in the Arena League, certain players that I was on the Jets with. So it's all good. I'm in the open book with all that. Let me mute my watch. It's over here making noises and stuff. But yeah. God. Here we go. Boom. Yeah, so yeah. So first time in here. Hey, and again, I'll talk about what you can expect, right? First time in here, and we're gonna break down this film. I try to get into some details that other people don't point out. Like that's my goal. So you can kind of walk away and really have a good idea of who this player is. It ain't highlights. I don't watch highlights. It's really all about, who this player is, and we want to really get down to the bottom of that. So that's what we will be talking about here when we're, getting into the Amari Rodgers film. Yes, sir. Let's see. Do you know if we will be able to tailgate this year? Show is fire. Thank you for the show, love. Tailgate, man. I don't know. We're gonna see. I would think so, man. I would think so. I would think people will be able to tailgate this year. They better. I mean, that's part of the big experience of going to an NFL game. Shoot. I want this to be, informative and everything. So I'll wait. I'll see if we can get up to 20 people over the next couple of minutes. I know over the last couple of days we've had as much as 150 people, but I know a lot of them are 49er fans. So we need a Robert Rochelle film study. So Robert Rochelle, that's the corner from UCA, right? I've watched a little bit of his film. Did I watch him against North Dakota State? Who did I watch him against? No, it wasn't North Dakota State. I know I have watched him, but I got it. So we definitely can do that. If we fly through, did Rochelle go to the Packers? Where's Rochelle at? If he went to the Packers, then, we'll get to him maybe if we get done with Amari Rodgers. A lot of people have been asking me, like, what's my player comp for Lenore? I don't know. I gotta think long and hard about that. Pause. I gotta think about that. Okay, Rams. Okay, so that's where Rochelle went. I know a lot of people really liked him. A lot of people really like Rochelle. Fantasy football tips this year. Oh, let me get to this one first. Just got done playing at Youngstown State, looking to get into scouting and coaching, or coaching. Looking forward to see how you evaluate and study players. Currently training high school players down in the SWFL. Man, played at Youngstown State. That's what's up. Yes, sir. Getting into coaching and scouting. I'd say if the best advice I could give, with all this is just try to gather as much knowledge as possible. I know with me, at least how I do things, and I explained it last time we were on here live. I don't know everything, so I kind of just talk about, a lot of my experiences. So, I talk more about receivers, defensive backs, because that's what I know. Now, I can evaluate other players, but I have to learn how to speak that language. Scouting, stuff like that, coaching, awesome. I think you have the ability to change lives doing that. If you get to make that into a profession, that's even more amazing. But yeah, the way I kind of do it is I speak more from experience when it comes to scouting and just kind of really understanding everything about the receiver and defensive back positions. What's up, Croc? Love your breakdowns. Been watching since you collaborated with BD Peacock. Yeah, Peacock is my guy, man. Peacock is my guy. So he knows I'll come on, anytime he needs me to come on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So last couple of times we waited about 5 more minutes. All right. So I'll wait a few more minutes to see if people start filtering in. All right. All right. Do we have any Packer fans in here? Any Packer fans? Okay, Packer fans, they're the ones that wanted to see Amari Rodgers. All right, so we'll see. And even then, we'll get to this film because I think, regardless of if you are a Packer fan or not, I think just kind of seeing how I break the guys down and stuff, it help you either understand more with him, who Amari Rodgers is, or just kind of my process on how I, break down these things and view these things. And you can kind of take some of that to your breakdowns or whatnot. I'd say, with all this stuff, kind of be you. These breakdowns, I don't pretend to be anybody I'm not. All right, so fantasy football tips this year. I'm not the biggest fantasy football person at all. I stopped playing fantasy football maybe 2-3 years ago. What I do is I do the daily fantasy. So like DraftKings, stuff like that. I will do some DraftKings. But as far as, just fantasy football in general, I feel like I kind of suck at it. I actually won one time, but I feel like I kind of suck at it. And I'm just like, maybe if I play for money, I'd be more invested into it. But I usually play for fun. And then it's like by week 10, it's like, man, it's whatever. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Niners do play week 3, Packers. Are the Packers going to have Aaron Rodgers? That's what I want to know. Go Pack, go. Okay, we got some Packer fans in here. If you are a Packer fan, make sure you guys retweet this. All right. I'm waiting for man, where the Packer fans at? Yes, sir. Who's your favorite cornerback of all time? And who's your favorite player of all time? That's a great question because, obviously those could be, 2 different things. I'd say, it's hard to go against Deion Sanders. Like I grew up wanting to be like Deion Sanders. And even though I came, like as far as my understanding of what I'm seeing was more towards the tail end of his career, like I'd say like 96 and on, 1996 and on. But he was, I wanted to high step like him. I used to wear a headband around my neck, when I got to the Arena League, I wore number 2, trying to be like Deion Sanders. So prime time, man. That's definitely my favorite player of all time. Just love the way he played, the way he competed, the way he prepared. My favorite. So yeah, so he's I think that he's my favorite corner of all time. I think there are other guys who I really loved watching. Champ Bailey, loved watching Champ. Charles Woodson, I mean, just loved him as an overall defensive back. That's more my era. Uh, Antonio Cromartie was a guy I watched a lot of when I was coming up, like college and stuff. Watched a ton of Cromartie, and then I got a chance to play with him, which was great. Be on the Jets with him. Let's see. As far as my favorite player of all time, yeah, it's got to be Deion. So I think it's the same. But I say if somebody that's not Deion, right, that like I look forward to really watching, right? So let's say a player not named Deion Sanders I really love watching. Deshawn Goldson, and probably Terrell Owens. Those are probably the two players. Love Terrell Owens, obviously, but Deshawn Goldson, it was just the way he played, man. Flying around. I felt like he was a bit of a kind of like underdog a little bit, where Deshawn Goldson wasn't someone who was a big name, or I think he went the junior college route, then went to Washington, and kind of had to be like a special teamer for a couple years before starting to really get a shot. So Deshawn Goldson, really liked him. Hey, okay, got the first super chat of the day. I appreciate the donation. I really appreciate it. You guys don't know, but you guys are helping me get like a new camera and all this equipment and everything like that. So first time Croc fan. About 3 hours ago, I saw your interview with Vish. Kamar just saw you talking with John Chapman. Yes, sir. I was just on with John, talking some 49ers stuff. So I appreciate you coming on. Make sure you guys, if you're not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right. Make sure you guys, if you're not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit like. Make sure you guys hit like. Yeah, man. Deshaun Goldson. I know a lot of people, and they give him a hard time, but I thought he was big time in those rounds when the 49ers were really good. He was a real tone setter. I think him and Dante Hittner back there. Love watching those guys, just the way they played the game. Do you see yourself getting into a coaching position, maybe for college in Arkansas? Nah, man. I really like, I'm building up my YouTube and Patreon stuff like that, and I train athletes. I'm in my gym. I don't think you can see it, but you can't see it. But I'm in my gym. I train athletes out of here. I'm actually building a much bigger facility, 12,000 square foot building. Hopefully it's done with turf and everything. Hopefully it's done in the next couple months. So between kind of building my streaming stuff with my YouTube, my Patreon, my podcast, all that, which I love doing, like that's just my passion, and then training athletes and really helping them, that's a passion as well. So I get to do two things I'm extremely passionate about, and I'm pushing to do those things as a living, which I do now, but I'm really trying to take it to the next level. So I talked about it on the last one, where it's like I'm getting this office. I'm actually getting an office. I'm having my own little studio, streaming studio and everything. Nice little setup. I'm trying to take this to the next level, man. Start to get some sponsors and stuff like that. I really just started doing the YouTube thing over the last month, and it's growing pretty fast. I'm up well over 3,000 subscribers and stuff and all that. So I'm gonna keep pushing it, man. I'm gonna keep on pushing it and make it, wide receiver, defensive back based. Yeah, I love from you. I love learning from you on Twitter. Glad to see you growing. Yes, sir. I'm trying. To me, it's I just love talking football. And I love talking wide receivers, defensive backs. All right. So, with no further ado, let's get into some Amari Rodgers film. All right. So, let's head back over to StreamYard. I'm gonna share my screen. Boom. Chrome tab. So before we get started, it said, work a day in your life. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Correct. And I love it. I could talk about this stuff every day. All right. So here we go. Let's get started. Amari Rodgers against Wake Forest. Let's try to point out some things that other people aren't talking about. Let's get it. All right. So obviously Amari Rodgers, he's more of a slot receiver. All right. So first play goes in motion. I think even things like this, right? Like what people probably don't understand, and let's pause it here. You hold defenders. Look at him. He's holding 2 defenders. So even something like this, a fake jet sweep, they might give it to him, right? They might give it to him. So if they do give it to him, he goes. But just the action alone holds defenders. And that's the part that people, I think, don't really pay attention to. Look at this. 1, 2 defenders that he's taking. Now, say if he just stayed over here in the slot and they just ran like a dive or whatever. Now, here's 2 more guys that are involved in the run game. So that's one thing right away when you talk about a player that has this type of ability, versatility and whatnot. He holds defenders. So I think that's something that is just a little underrated. So, no matter who your team is, if you're a 49er fan and you see 49ers do things like this with Deebo Samuel, or if you're a Packer fan and you're like, okay, what can we expect from Amari Rodgers? You can expect for him to hold defenders. And what that does for your running backs, it helps your running backs a ton. Here he goes again, Amari Rodgers right here. Let's see what they do with him. So that's not something that you really want to see, right? I mean, he just stumbles. Now, I don't harp too much on things like this that happen like one time, right? Like, obviously, I want to know, like, is this something that ends up being consistent? I don't think him just tripping over his feet or a blade of grass or whatever is something consistent, but obviously, I bet, if Aaron Rodgers sees something like that, I bet Aaron Rodgers would be pissed if that's who's going to be the quarterback. Yeah, you can't. That's pitch and catch. I don't know how he fell. I don't know. All right, let's see it. I think this is him right here. Nothing much there. The one thing that I try to see with guys is, how are you kind of threatening guys? Now, sometimes, because I always want to see guys, threaten defensive backs or LBs or whatever and kind of use their speed to make somebody uncomfortable. But sometimes it's as simple as this, where it's not like a crazy route, but you're just finding the open spot. Now, his quarterback didn't find him, Trevor Lawrence, but, sometimes it's just that simple. So not every route is going to look all, crisp and sharp. Sometimes it's just running into a spot. I think part of that is really kind of, just having a good understanding of what your coach's staff, wants from you. Here he is right here in the slot now. Good. And catch. Nice over the shoulder catch from Amari Rodgers. All right. So one thing that, I want to see from guys is, can you be a vertical threat? And being a vertical threat from, the slot is going to look different than being a vertical threat from the outside. But just his ability here to, work to, okay, I know I got to get here. Good. All right. Now, can I stack him and then make a move off of that? Stack, move, right? So now once you get a guy on your back, give him a little jab, right? Which he did. Now you'll see it right around here where he gives a little jab at the top. Look, boom, right there. Stacks him, right? So now I stack him. I have that clear space from where my quarterback is going to throw the ball. Instead of this guy being, if he didn't stack him, the guy would be probably like right here on his upfield shoulder, right? But he stacked him. Good job. He's behind. Now use your body to kind of shield the defender away from the ball. And a really good job tracking this ball in over the shoulder. Great catch. And he tells him, first down. Good job. All right, let's look at it from this angle because I think it was a really good over the shoulder catch. Stacks him. Over the shoulder. Hands. Good. Hands. Good job. Guys like that, it's a little tough because you're out there in space. Here he goes. Okay, just get the ball in his hands, make a guy miss. Now, we know, and I don't have to tell Packer fans that are in here, but Packer fans know more than anybody, right? Like, I'm envious of the Packers in the way they use Davante Adams and how he's always on the same page with Aaron Rodgers and how they get so many cheap yards and catches. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of times if Aaron Rodgers kind of gets up and he looks and he sees the defense playing a certain way, he'll just say hike and rise up and throw the ball right to Davante Adams. And then it's on Davante Adams. Can you make a guy miss? Even if you don't, he picks up 5-6 yards. If you make the guy miss like Amari Rodgers does here, terrific job here, making that guy miss in space. You don't want to let the first guy tackle you. So, okay, first guy, he catches it. That's good awareness because he barely gets enough time to look upfield while knowing somebody's going to come and try to make a tackle on him. Ugh, nice little subtle move. That was a good job. Get the first down. Watch the subtle move. Huh, right there. Good. Then get vertical. Not all, it wasn't a lot of dancing around or anything. It was make a guy miss, get vertical, throw a little stiff arm at the end. All right. Throw a little stiff arm at the end. I know the DB hated that. Eat that. Eat that. That's good stuff. Again, I mean, I think the game now in the NFL is played so much laterally, obviously vertical as well, but you want to get guys that you just get the ball in their hands, sideline to sideline. Get the ball in his hands. Make a guy miss. Let's get upfield. Get this first down. Let's go. That's good stuff. Then the strong stiff arm at the end. Strong stiff arm at the end. Let me see it. Eat that, stupid. I like it. I like it. Where's he at? He's right here up top now. Now he's not known to be an outside receiver. All right. There was nothing really to see there. Yeah, where's he at? Do I see him? I don't think I see him out here. Nothing really to see there. Not in. Now, this is one thing where it's like, but obviously he wasn't drafted in the first round, but, are you on the field in, this could be 12 personnel or something. You got one back, probably two tight ends, two receivers. Are you on the field in these type of situations? That's Powell, I believe, and that's number 2, I think. So not out there. It's not like he's an every down guy. At least he wasn't for Clemson. All right, now he's here in the slot. Nothing there. You would like to see like, okay, is he gonna block somebody, right? But it's a run away from him. Nothing major to see there. Here he is right here. Let's watch him here in the slot. And they give it to him on the jet sweep. Now, or a fly sweep, whatever you want to call it. Now, some of these plays like this, and I know some people might say, well, that only got a yard, or that only got 2 yards, right? Or whatever, however many yards he got. But sometimes plays aren't designed to get a lot of yards. Sometimes you're just setting something up. Maybe you're just making them respect that, right? Because the first time they ran this type of action, what they do? Fake it to him and then ran it with ETN. This time they got ETN out there lead blocking. But sometimes you're just setting something up or making a defense respect that you will actually hand it off. It's more that they're going to have to worry about. That was a hell of a job by ETN right there. What do you guys think of ETN being a receiver? Big hole. Nothing really to see here. Trevor Lawrence, I will say this. They don't talk about it, but he was used as a running quarterback a lot. He's not really kind of viewed in that light, but he definitely did that a lot. All right, here we go. Amari Rodgers here in the slot. Fake. This is his version of a fake stock block. See him raise his hands to fake the screen. Here he is here in the slot. This looks like his RPO. So he could possibly get the ball. I don't think that and maybe he just knew that the ball was going to the field no matter what. Potentially could run this with a little bit more sense of urgency since the ball has to get out quick. The longer the quarterback waits, lineman can end up getting downfield. Maybe, again, he just knew that the ball was going to the field and not to the boundary. So he just kind of half-assed ran his route. All right. Right here again in the slot. That is a wide split. Got to be running. Yeah. That was the first thing I noticed. Like look where he lines up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is in the 49ers offense, in the Packers offense, like a ton of tight splits. Like, this is an outside receiver. So you got a receiver outside of him. Sure. Nah, something's up. Trying to stretch out that defense. And that's a big difference that's between college and the NFL. You don't have this much space to the field in the NFL. The hashes are like right here and like right here. So the NFL is definitely not as wide open of and spacing wise as college. That's something that definitely helps quarterbacks in college. It's something that they have to adjust to heading to the NFL. Right here in the slot, can just kind of run into a spot, potential RPO, nothing major. Here he is right here in the slot. Switch release. And drops it. Now, I don't know. Okay. I think that was good anticipation by Trevor Lawrence because when you look when he's letting it go now, he's really even with the safety, but he kind of just puts too much air under it. Look how far back he pulls that ball. But he puts a lot of air under this ball, right? So now as a receiver, instead of the ball just getting on you and you just comfortably catching the ball, now, quarterback makes it a little bit more difficult. You have to start trying to, be aware of where the sideline is, catch the ball, watch it in while keeping your feet in bounds. And what you'll see on the replay and what kind of led to the drop, he didn't watch the ball in. As the ball touches his hands, he looks to see, are his feet in bounds? Does he have his feet down? So watch him look away. See that at the last second? So he's good here. And then as soon as it touches his hands, you see him try to look and see, are my feet down? And that's when the drop happens. Gotta watch that ball all the way in. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Is that more blame on him? Is that more blame on Amari Rodgers? Are we blaming the quarterback? I say that's a little on the quarterback. Obviously, the ball hits your hands, you want to catch it, but I kind of put that on the quarterback for like leaving that up in the air and making it a much more high difficult play than it had to be. All right, let's get back to it. Is he in right now? He's not in. He's probably not going to be in here. Oh, yeah, he's here right here. Let's see. How is he as a blocker? You would ideally like to see him. Let's get inside. This is good. Now you got the leverage on him. Now get your body in there and let's block him and not do that. A little bit more sense of urgency here to get that block. Blocking in the NFL, that's a big thing. They're definitely going to force him to, have a much more, sense of urgency to get to a block like that. I think he definitely is someone who wants to block. That's for sure. With Trevor Lawrence, again, used as a runner. You see this a lot. Scored a lot of touchdowns on the ground. All right, here we go. Amari Rodgers in the slot. Good. Now that's what we want to see, right? As a blocker, all right. You can't leave your receiver hanging out there, right? Your teammate hanging. Good job. Right there. You just got to get enough. I think everybody thinks like, oh, you got to pancake somebody. Nah, man, let me just get in his way and wash him out. That's a good job. That's a good block. See it again here. Boom, right there. Just enough. Get just enough. All right. He's not in right now. Trevor Lawrence keeping again. You'll see him keep it a lot. Big quarterback. It's a big dude. He weighed in at 213 pounds, which is like crazy. They're saying this because he couldn't lift because of shoulders, but I think regardless, like, damn. That's a thin quarterback. To put that into perspective, right? He's 6'6", 213 pounds that he measured in at his pro day. Zach Wilson, 6'2", 214 pounds. So Zach Wilson actually weighs more than Trevor Lawrence. And people were worried about Zach Wilson not being big enough. Pretty wild. Nothing to see there. All right, let's see if we got something. Do we see Amari Rodgers? I don't even see him in the game. Got in. Let's go. All right, got him here, right here on the outside. Let's see it. Right there. All right, please. Nothing major. I would like to see like because sometimes and I'll say this with cornerbacks as well. Like even if you're not getting the ball, like I want to see you kind of just work the cornerback. Give him something to think about. Whether you're running him off or whatever, right? Give him a little something to think about. He ain't really give him nothing to think about. Give him a little something. Here he is here on the outside. I think this is the blaze out. In, out. Yep. Good job. Go down and get it. All right. Now there are some people that run this route really fast. He isn't one of them, but he definitely runs it with enough pace to kind of set up the route or set up defensive back with patience. So that's good. Sometimes that's all it takes. Set him up with patience, right? Look at a guy like Anquan Bolden. He wasn't going to win with pure speed. He was going to set guys up with patience and win that way. I think Amari Rodgers did a really good job of doing that here. Speed there, out of his break. Does a really good job of working back downhill. So look, he's dang near at the 15-yard line. Where does he catch the ball? Around the 14-yard line. And that was actually even after climbing up to what, the 13? And he works back down here to the 16. Yeah. Here we go. So they lined him up outside. Obviously in this rep right here too. Rep because you get to see him work outside. And that's what I want to see, right? Like, what kind of versatility does he have? Now, can he win vertically from the outside? That's what I really want to see. Can he win vertically from the outside? Again, lined up on the outside. Up top. Where is he at? He is in the slot down here, right here, the 2 spot. Let's see, what does he do? So a lot of times he kind of comes off at 1 speed. I think he has this right here if he wants it. Still a good throw over the defender. I think it's just a little more difficult than it had to be. Here he is right here on the slot again. Good. So it seems like a lot of his routes, he doesn't run it with like the most speed. He hits at a good speed, good enough speed. Press out, leverage him, break it in. Good. Press out. So right here, he's working his leverage. Come up. Good. Straighten him up, right? So he stemmed out, up. Now you got him here, upfield. He has to respect that. Boom. Break that route off. Good stuff. He doesn't get it. Solid route. One thing you'll notice here is, how many times has he faced press? Hasn't faced press at all. So, when it comes to like evaluations, that's one thing where it's like, man, how much was he challenged, right? Being in the slot. NFL, nickel defenders, they're definitely going to challenge you. All right, here he is right here. Lined up in the slot. We talked about him as a blocker. Good. Right there. Good. But hang on, right? Hang on. Maybe he didn't want to end up getting called for holding. Maybe the receiver went or back when they had got many more yards anyways. Overall, good effort. Blocking out there on the edge. Things you like to see. I see Packers ask a lot of their receivers in the run game. All right, here we go. He's here, right here at the top of the stack. What does he do? Nothing major there. Good. Again, let's go. I see you. Right here. Come here. Yes, sir. That's it. Right there. Right here. Good. I just saw someone in the comments say Packers ask a lot of the receivers in the run game. I'm gonna need this type of effort. Right there. He's a thick dude. The lower part of his body. Watch him here. Come here. Yeah, right there. Just put your weight behind there. There you go. Good job. Good job. Where is he at now? He's up top. Now I talked about him not facing press much, right? And even then here, they line up in press alignment, but given the outside release is really more of a cover two. Or 6, whatever it is. It's just a miss by Trevor Lawrence. Another run. What do they do? Run a quarterback power with him? Or the option? All right, here he goes right here up top in the slot. Good. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this route here. So initially, I wish I had the remote that helps me just like slow it down. So initially, right here, right, the cornerback, if you look at his inside foot lined up here, so he has inside leverage, right? So what Amari Rodgers needs to do is I need to eat up that leverage and square him up. So when you see his initial stem off the line, now look, the corner never slid inside. So now we are even. We are even now. So now all you have to do is cross his face. Once you straighten him up here, does he get him to stop his feet? Yep, stopped his feet, square him up, easy money. So that's what you see here. Attack his leverage, get him to stop his feet, cross his face. Good job. Hands, decent run after catch. First down. Y'all remember like the old school Madden game when they used to be like, first down. They used to bring out the measuring sticks. Madden used to bring out measuring sticks. They used to have the ambulance come and pick guys up when they were hurt. They don't do that stuff on Madden anymore. It's just inches. Let's watch them. Right here. Good. Just find a spot. Set on his own. Good job. Does anybody talk about like okay, so this is my thing with Trevor Lawrence. Like, I feel like he just doesn't get look at that. So now if this were Justin Fields, if this were Trey Lance, like everybody would be talking about this, how he just brought this ball from down here all the way here and how wide out it is, right? Like am I tripping? Right? Like if that were anybody else, wouldn't they be talking about this elongated release? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something I just picked up on. Real quick, got a question here. Croc, how come you never cover the Chargers, bro? Listen, I will. Who you want? We want to watch Asante Samuel Jr.? We can watch him. That's what this is for. This platform. I want to get into, all wide receivers, defensive backs. I really need to get into what makes Keenan Allen so good. I think that's something that'd be intriguing. Just watching Keenan Allen for a game, just watching him. That's something I definitely want to see. All right, but let's get back to this. And yeah, I find it weird that. Oh, let me close that down. I find it weird that Trevor Lawrence is above any kind of criticism, constructive criticism. Excuse me. Not one. I've never heard anybody mention this. Right. I just noticed it just now in that throw. Let's see if I can pause it when he first brings it back. Look at that. Look at that. Have you guys ever, and maybe I'm wrong, but have you guys ever heard anybody talk about anything with Trevor Lawrence's mechanics? I think Trevor Lawrence is a tremendous quarterback. I don't think he's the guy they say he is. And I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's not going to be good this year. I'm just saying how he's viewed. I don't know about that. And I just find it strange or weird or whatever that he's above any sort of constructive criticism at all. They nitpick at every other prospect, every prospect. I have not heard them mention anything about him and this. Never. They've never talked about him dropping the ball down to his waist, an elongated release. I've never heard them mention anything about that with Trevor Lawrence. That's crazy. I'm from Modesto. Show the 209 some love, my guy. Love your content. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went to Modesto Junior College. Yep. I went to Modesto Junior College. All right, here we go. Back to the film. That's just crazy that they don't ever talk about that with Trevor Lawrence. All right, anyways, right here, back in the slot. Let's see. Run play. Does he get a block? Ooh. So even okay, like he doesn't get enough on this block, but I think it's the lack of sense of urgency. Like let's get out here, let's get ready to set up, stock block, square him up, hands on. He's kind of like coming up to him, hopping. Let's run those feet a little bit more. He's too high. Look, he's kind of straight up. He's straight up. So obviously those things are fixable. One thing that I like to try to point out: what's fixable, what's not, right? What's coachable, what's not. He's more of a squatty player. We're talking about Amari Rodgers. He's more of a squatty player. It's not, you can't fix that. But effort on certain things definitely can fix those things. Let's see if that same release shows up here. Let's see. It just caught me off guard, y'all. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, he kind of has like this loopy throwing motion. Look at that. He brings it down. He brings it all the way down and then brings it up and around. Yeah. But anyways. All right. Amari Rodgers, where he at? He's not in here right now. Not in right now. Here he is here. Again, this is another, and again, like sometimes, well, I don't know. I think this is what a switch release, pretty much. Yeah, switch release here. What I don't know is like what they're being taught, but it just seems like a lot of times he's not really running like his route with much sense of urgency. Again, that is definitely something that you can fix. I think he, possesses all the things that you want to see, right? From a receiver from an ability standpoint, and I don't think he's like this stiff guy or anything like that. I think he definitely has enough, burst. I wonder if Trevor Lawrence didn't get what he wanted to see. Doesn't find the check down quick enough. Now he finds it. Oh no, defense coordinator got to be sick. All you had to do is rally down. Second down and 16. He got all 16 here. What is Amari Rodgers doing? No. I think even here, like let's say he's never gonna get the ball here. Can you pull the defense a little bit more, right? Can you run this vert with a little bit more sense of urgency? Can you work a little bit harder to get on this defensive back's toes? Yeah, I don't know what he's taught. Those are just things that I'd be looking for. I think right now, like the things I would kind of identify with Amari Rodgers, I think I would like to see him play with a little bit more sense of urgency. I think I'd like to see that from a route running perspective. Um, Also from a blocking perspective, I think he definitely blocks well. I think I just would like to see a little bit more sense of urgency, getting in position to get ready to stop block. I would like to see that. Let's see if I can find a game where they're challenged more. I don't think he faced press one time in this Wake Forest game. All right, so real quick, stop to share. I guess we can count this as like a halftime break. You guys have anything that you guys want to talk about as we take this little break right now? Hold on one second. FCS championship game is on. I was trying to see. This kid I trained is in. Okay, Sam Houston's winning. Let's go. But uh anything you guys want to talk about with Amari Rodgers right now, kind of what you guys are seeing. For me, again, I think he does things very well. I would as from this film, I would like to see him play with a little bit more sense of urgency. Maybe because they're playing against Wake Forest, who's so zone heavy. He's just kind of taught to run to spots, and if that's the case, I could see why it would look like to me that he's not playing with a sense of urgency. All right. All right, so let me find another game here. Might have to go back to 2019. Let's see. How y'all doing today on this beautiful Sunday? I hope everybody's good. Here we go. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to 2019. All right. All right. Uh, oh nope. Here we go. Some more 2020 film. All right. So, anyways, how is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I see FS. So I have the Notre Dame game. So let me see him against Asante Samuel Jr. All right. See one person with the first stat. I got the 2020 Notre Dame game. But if you want to see him against Asante Samuel Jr., I can go to that right now. Let's see right here. I know it's gonna be 2019 that I have. Clemson offense. Ooh, is that? Where's it? Florida State. All right, here we go. Let's see where we at, y'all. All right, so I have him here right now is against Florida State. So here we go. Let me go to share this. Florida State. This is from 2019. All right. So Chrome tab. Boom. Boom. And we are live. All right. So let's identify where he's at here. So they start off the last game like this too, right? And you want to hold defenders. Got Asante Samuel Jr. out here on T. Higgins. T. Higgins comes down with the big dog catch, tosses the ball to the referee. First play of the game, drop a bomb on Asante Samuel Jr. Obviously Asante Samuel, and I'll try to give you guys both perspectives of this. More of a guy who presses more with his feet. So that's what you're seeing there. But he does get in good position. Just never really kind of gets in control. Then the big guy goes up, makes the play over him. Here we go. Second play of the game. That first play was on Asante Samuel Jr. This next play, again, on Asante Samuel Jr. This is tough. Tough scheme, right? They toss it to him. They think that it's a run play. Ends up being a pass play. Him coming down to get off the block. Then they get him up. High point catch. And I want to say that's Ross, who a lot of people really like. Potentially a first round pick next year. Justin Ross coming off of is it an Achilles injury or ACL? All right, let's see him. Here we go. We got Amari Rodgers here. This is what I want to see. Good. Set up. Good feet. Active feet. Get in front of him. Stock block. Good. Now, can he be a little bit more aggressive finishing this block here? Potentially. But who's number 24 for FSU? That's not the Nasir guy, right? Nasir Dillerine, whatever his name is. Either way, that was a good job blocking. I thought Trevor Lawrence was going to pull that. Okay, good touchdown. Here we go. Get the ball out in Amari Rodgers' hands. Now, doesn't look like the twitchiest or most sudden guy right here, right? We did see a nice little twitch and suddenness in the last game where he made the first guy miss. Here, just got a little too wide, nowhere ready to go. Ooh, gets slammed on his head. They throw a flag. He didn't like that. No. Oh, yeah. Can't do that, especially on the other team's sideline. Nothing really to see there. Asante Samuel Jr., back to him. A lot of how they used him in this game, he was the field corner, play off, primarily played off. They had, Stanford Samuel Jr. He was more the boundary corner. But here, okay, so these are the things I want to see right now. Finally, because we just went a whole last game where Amari Rodgers didn't face press one time. But now we got Amari Rodgers against Asante Samuel Jr. All right, let's see how this matchup went. Did he have to work? Now, I think Asante Samuel just gave him a little bit too much free access, right? He just kind of motors out. And look, there was no resistance, right? Like, okay, you're lined up in press alignment, but there was no resistance. No resistance to be able, to have to fight to work inside. So from Asante Samuel, one or two things need to happen here. One or two things need to happen. Better leverage from the jump, especially if you want to motor out like that. If you want to motor out like that, make him have to cross your face so you can have better inside leverage from the start, or just not back out. So then you make him have to work hard this way or hard that way. But you can't just get space to where he just kind of comes up and runs inside like that. That's too easy. Now, they ain't throw it, but just in general. Here we go. Again, I talked about the effects of what this does, right? We're talking about holding defenders. And it's even better when you have a quarterback who will keep it, which obviously Trevor Lawrence will. So you have a guy here, right? He holds defenders. He's going to hold some defenders here on the backside of this run, right? Then you have this guy here, and there's always, I mean, I don't want to say there's always, but there's probably also an option for Trevor Lawrence to keep. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm no offensive guy as far as like scheme and stuff like that. This not bad, right? Talked about him. Somebody said, "Hey, Packers use their receivers a lot in the run game." So he's here. Now he has to take on Big Dog right here, standing there. Okay, good job. It ain't easy. It's a tough thing sometimes with like some of these slot receivers. They don't give you a whole lot as far as like the film study aspect of it. We're still identifying like his abilities. Obviously, I can guarantee the Packers to do a lot of this with him. Get the ball, try to get him out in space. Okay, 4 yards, cool. Try to get him out there on the edge in space. So crazy. I see those game, see that go for like 3 yards. I swear, and any 49er fan in here will tell you, I swear it feels like every time that Debo Samuel does it, he's picking up, 10, 20, 25 yards every time. I've heard comparisons to Randall Cobb even before the draft. I could see that. I could see that. He looks like Randall Cobb out there, doesn't he? Kind of shorter, squattier type guy. Right. Let's go. All right. Let's get back to it. Watch a little bit more from this game. Not in right here. The one thing I will say that, kind of was a good look, at least for me, is just showing that he has some sort of, outside ability. Because, you want receivers who have, just a little bit more versatility. Ideally, I don't want to draft a guy and it's just like, man, I have to play him in this one spot. I think that's what helps, 49ers. Not to keep talking about them, but Packers and 49ers run. I'm pretty sure their schemes are somewhat similar. Now you change some things because in one you have Aaron Rodgers and you kind of have to let him do his thing. But for the most part, they run probably similar concepts. And the good thing about the 49ers receivers, they can all line up anywhere. When you bring in a guy like Amari Rodgers, where is he? So you bring in Amari Rodgers, he's not in here again. He's not in. Let's stop the screen share. All right, shoot. So, if there's anybody else you guys want to see real quick, I know there wasn't much on him. I think ultimately what I kind of came away with was would like to see him play with a little bit more, consistent sense of urgency. I like him as a blocker. I think he has terrific effort, but again, back to the sense of urgency, I think it's not just en route, but also in the blocking game. Those are things that are extremely fixable and coachable, especially since he wants to block, and you can see that. I think with his route running, definitely could have been a little bit more sense of urgency, but I don't know if it's because some of these teams he faced a lot of zone, and you just have to run the spots. I watch. I think, watch him on the outside. It was more against off coverage. I would like to see him against more press coverage with guys that are going to be more physical with him at the line of scrimmage. How does he move in? But I think, ultimately, I think he fits where the game is kind of going today with guys that can, you can get the ball in their hands, off the edge. You can try to get them the ball in space. You have an offense that wants to work laterally and get yak. I think he definitely will help improve that with the Green Bay Packers. But I think that's pretty much it on Amari Rodgers. Not as much as I love to really go in depth and really have a lot to talk about. But with him, it's kind of hard sometimes with these slot receivers because you don't see them get challenged a whole lot. A lot of it's just running to spaces, especially in college. Now, NFL, yeah, they get challenged. And he's going to get challenged a lot in the NFL, more so than what we saw today in college. So, shoes, y'all. I think that's going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody coming in. Definitely had a contribution. I appreciate the contribution from my guy, Philip. All right. Everybody else, I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I'll sit here and kind of I'll sit here and I'm gonna watch the rest of this game. We'll see if I can come up with someone else that we want to talk about. I know I have a big 49er following base, fan base, so I might think of somebody to watch for my Niners. All right. But until next time, I'll see y'all. Peace. Peace out.